What's going on, guys? Black Market Pokeshill here, bringing you another video today. In today's video, I've got another special presentation for you, talking about all of a special card, Rayquaza. I made a presentation just like my Mewtwo presentation and Charizard presentation, talking about the gem rates and the value of the cards and if they've appreciated and how many are listed and all that type of thing. And I have put them in a ranking in what I think is the best Rayquaza card of all time. Without Before we get into that though, what I have here is the giveaway box, the Black Kyurem and Mel Metal giveaway box here, Black Friday, as well as the polls from another video, the slack off illustration rare, and the Milotic full art. Okay, beautiful. They could be yours once we get to 50 subscribers. And as a second treat, my birthday is this month, and if we get to 50 subscribers before my birthday on March the 15th, I will be adding to the giveaway. I will add another person to the giveaway once we reach 50 subscribers. And if we do that before we get to March the 15th, that's where I'll add a surprise giveaway. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And without further ado, I will start the presentation. So, here we are, ranking all Rayquaza cards. One of my favorite things about this is I haven't been in the hobby for all that long, just over a year, probably like 13 or 14 months now, maybe 15 months. I was into Pokemon as a kid, but this is really the first time in my adult life, other than playing the video games, that I've been into Pokemon cards. So a lot of these cards are new for me, and I'm experiencing them. I was experiencing them for the first time when I was making this video. So you can, if you've never experienced these cards, you can learn along right with me. And here we go. So the first card that we have is the Rayquaza-EX number 75 over 108. This Rayquaza card is my least favorite card of the bunch that we've had. It is from Roaring Skies, which Roaring Skies was released on May the 6th, 2015. The raw price of this card, according to TCG Player, I should back up it, guys, and just say all of my raw prices I found on TCG Player. Those are usually the lowest listed card on TCG Player. All of the PSA 10 values I have found on eBay, and it, depending on the rarity of the card, it is either last sold on eBay, kind of an average between the last sold, or what is actually available on eBay to buy. So, knowing that, the raw value on TCG Player for this card, $20 lowest listed, and a PSA 10 on eBay will set you back $500. Now, this card, because it's from the EXY era, it is a more rare card. The population report is rather low. There's 1,437 cards graded, with 310 of these cards graded in a 10. That gives you a gem rate of 22%, a PSA 10 multiple of 25 times, and the current quantity on TCG Player is 26 cards. And in the last 3 months, 63 of these cards were sold on TCG Player. And the reason why I put this card as the last card, my least favorite Rayquaza card, is I think it makes him look a little bit too much like a chicken. Not a huge fan of this card. It just gives me the wrong vibes. Not a huge fan, and for that reason, it gets the last place spot on this list. Next is the Shining Rayquaza number 56 over 73. This is the 17th on the countdown. The set here is from the Shining Legends set on October 6th, 2017. The raw price of this card on TCG Player is around $70. The PSA 10 is $450 on eBay. The population report is a little bit bigger than the last card because this card is from the Sun and Moon era, and a little bit more people were in the hobby at that time. So 9,417 cards were graded, and 2,776 were graded in a 10. That gives us a gem rate of 29% and the PSA 10 multiple at 6.4x. The current quantity for this card on TCG Player is 19, and the sold in the last 3 months is 58. This card, again, it's not a super awesome card. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's got a little good art, but it's not a full art card, and for that reason, I have put it as the second last card on this list, or number 17. Number 16 is the Rayquaza VMAX from the Trainer Gallery, number 29 out of 30 from Silver Tempest. Not a huge fan of the black gold cards, and that's why it's in the number 16 spot. But like I said, this card is from Silver Tempest from the Sword and Shield era, and for that reason, it's still a little bit cheaper. It's not all that rare to pull. It's an $18 card on TCG Player, and the PSA 10 will set you back anywhere from $170 to $250 on eBay. The population report is 11,077 graded with 8,572 graded in a 10, giving you a very, very high gem rate of 77%. So if you got any of these cards laying around, it might be worth sending them to grade it because it's probably a 10. Because it's a easy card to grade, the gem rate is good. The PSA 10 multiple is a little lower, but still actually pretty good, 11.6x. So it could be worth grading this card if you have it laying around, which I'm sure lots of you do. The current quantity on TCG Player is 88, with 491 of these cards sold in the last 3 months. So that's a number 16. Counting down to number 15 is the Rayquaza V193 over 203. Number 15 on the list. This card is from the all-famous Evolving Skies. Raw price of this card is $27. PSA 10 goes for $128. The population report is 1808 in a 10 out of 2935 total. The gem rate is 62%, and the PSA 10 multiple is 4.7x. The current quantity on TCG Player is 57, with the last 3 months being sold 87. Again, it's a good full art card, just nothing fancy about this card, and that's why I have it on number 15 on the list. Next is the Rayquaza GX 160 over 168. That's number 14 on our countdown. So again, a little bit better of a card, a little bit older of a card than our last card there from Evolving Skies. This card is from Celestial Storm, released on August the 3rd, 2018. The raw price of this card is $88, $600 in a 10. There is a total of over 1,100 of these cards graded, with 515 graded in a 10. A little bit of a lower gem rate at 45%, which gives you a PSA 10 multiple of 7 times. The current quantity on TCG Player is 4, and they have sold 8 in the last 3 months. So not a lot of these cards out there, for $88 and only being 4 on TCG Player, it might be worth picking one of these cards up for that price, because $88 is still relatively affordable. And as more and more people realize that there's not a lot of these cards out there, maybe they will start to pick them up and they will become very rare. Number 13 is the Rayquaza Black Star Promo XY141. I kind of like this card, kind of don't. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but Back in the day, it's a fairly common card because it is from the Steam Siege 3-pack blisters, which those 3-pack blisters nowadays on eBay and TCG Player go anywhere between $200 and $300 per 3-pack blister. If you want this card just by itself, though, it's going to cost you anywhere from $30 to $60. And really, when I was trying to find this card for sale in a 10, it doesn't. I couldn't find them. I couldn't find any cards that have sold recently. The only thing that I could see was there was one of these cards listed in a 10, and it was listed for $15,000. Their last sold, I could find a PSA 9, and it was $350. Population report for this card is staggeringly low. 416 of these cards have been graded, and only 9 in the entire world graded as a 10. Considering how common these 3-pack blisters must have been back then, unless I'm wrong, somebody can correct me in the comments. It's crazy that there's only 9 of these in the entire world in a PSA 10. That means that it's a 2% gem rate, and the PSA 10 multiple is 250x. So by golly, if you have any of these cards sitting in your binder, please pull them out. Please try and grade them. Really, there is only one of these cards on TCG Player, and there is been 20 of them sold in the last 3 months. This card is primed and ready to go for a run up even higher. But right now, fairly affordable, raw $30 to $60. Number 12 on the list is the Rayquaza-EX 104 over 108 from Roaring Skies. We are back in the XY era with the Roaring Skies, May 6, 2015. This Roaring Skies release date. The raw price of this card is $190, and a PSA 10 recently sold on eBay for $6,750. The population report is also fairly low on this card, with 35 out of 1,600 graded in a 10. That's only 35 of these cards in a 10. The gem rate is 2%. You got a 35x PSA 10 multiple on this card. And the current quantity on TCG Player is 4 near mint, with 6 in the last 3 months sold. Now, this kind of starts the cards that I'm more into, like cards that I possibly buy on my own and actually want to own these cards. If I had the money to buy them all, I probably would. This card, I love the swirling in the background. I love the blue background. Blue's my favorite color, and it complements green so much. The action portion of this card, it looks good. It doesn't make Rayquaza look like a chicken, and for that's why it's above the other cards here, and that's why it is number 12 on the list. Also, I mean, very good PSA 10 multiple, $190 raw, fairly affordable card. A good chance to get it in a 10. I mean, not really. It's not a good chance to get in a 10, but there's still some cards out there to buy. You could risk it and get that $7,000 payday. Number 11 on the list is the Rayquaza GX 177 over 168 Rainbow Rare from Celestial Storm, August 3rd, 2018 release date. Raw of this card will set you back $265. The PSA 10 is anywhere from $750 to $1,000. The population report is 1,373 graded, with 527 graded in a 10, giving you a gem rate of 38%. The PSA 10 multiple is anywhere from 3 to 4x, with the current quantity listed on TCG Player as 7. The last sold in the last 3 months is 5. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you you probably realize, like, he's got a rainbow rare card this high up on his list because I put all the Charizard rainbow on my other videos so low. I actually kind of a fan of the rainbow rare Rayquaza for some reason. They actually look fairly well done, and for that, I mean, they're still not the best card, but for that, I have this and the next version ranked at 11 and 10. So there's the Rayquaza VMAX 217 over 203, number 10 on the list. I think this card, it has a lot of blue, I guess, in it, and that's why I liked it better than the other card. Just a little cooler looking card, in my opinion. But this card is from Evolving Skies. Raw, it is $65. PSA 10 will set you back $174. The population report is higher, 4,083 in a 10 out of the total 5,448 graded total, giving you a gem rate of 75%. The PSA 10 multiple of 3x with the current listed number on TCG Player of 22. The last sold in the last 3 months is 62. So there's triple the volume sold in 3 months than what's listed on TCG Player at this time. Moving on to number 9 is the Rayquaza GX 177A over 168. Number 9, it's the Hidden Fates Premium Powers Collection promo. So this card is in that Premium Powers Collection box. The box is the last sold for that box is $632, and the lowest listed is $745 for that box. So the box that this card comes in is fairly expensive at this point. But raw, this card goes for $120. PSA 10, $352. 15,000 been graded with 8,700 of them in a 10, giving you a gem rate of 58%. A PSA 10 multiple of 3x with the current quantity listed on TCG Player as 31 and sold in the last 3 months is 44. So more cards sold in the last 3 months than what's listed on TCG Player. Okay, fairly shiny card. And we like shiny cardboard here on this channel, and that's why this card comes in at number 9. And next we have the Mega Rayquaza-EX 61 over 108. It's from Roaring Skies. Raw price of this card is $80. The last sold on eBay was $2,240. And what there is left listed on eBay is one for 4K or best offers. So this card in a 10 is quite expensive, even though the raw price is still only $80. And that is because the population report is only 139 in the entire world graded in a 10. Only 139 graded in a 10 with 2,300 total graded, giving you a gem rate of 6% and a PSA 10 multiple of so high that I didn't even put it in the report here. So, but just doing some quick math, you're looking at 500x if you sell it for 4K. Current quantity on TCG Players 15 with 22 sold in the last 3 months. This card looks badass to me. I like the look of this card. I was not around when it came out. And when I see it, I'm like, man, that is a pretty sick looking Rayquaza card. Definitely a card that I will buy or consider buying sometime in the near future. Next is a card that also comes in the Celebration set, but this card is not from Celebrations. This card is from Roaring Skies again. Surprise, surprise, a lot of these cards are from Roaring Skies. The raw price for it is $55. PSA 10, $780. I could not find any listed on eBay at all, and that's probably because the population report is kind of low. There's only 146 in a 10 in the entire world of this card, and only 1,400 graded, giving you a gem rate of 10% and the PSA 10 multiple of 14x. The current listed quantity on TCG Players 14, with 42 of them sold in the last 3 months. This card makes Rayquaza look like he is going faster than the speed of light, and I like fast things. My favorite animal is a cheetah because they're fast. Yeah, this card's just like Super slick, super clean, and again, relatively affordable raw, and I would love to get my hands on one of these cards. Coming to number 6 is the Rayquaza V 194 over 203 from Evolving Skies. It's $270 raw. It's dropping in price though. 3 months ago it was a $315 card, so it's $55 cheaper than it was 3 months ago, which is unusual right now in this market. But that's what's happened. $55 down. And PSA 10 will set you back around $720. The population report is 17,000 graded with 8,800 of them in a 10 and a gem rate of 52%, giving you a PSA 10 multiple of 2.7x. There's 50 of these cards on TCG Player in the last 3 months. 43 of these cards have sold. This card is one of my favorite Rayquaza cards just because I like the trainer aspect of the card. And it really shows kind of like that partnership between the trainer and the Pokemon, and it's just a badass looking card with the bright blue sky in the background, and for that, it's number 6. Moving on to number 5 is 2 cards and their promos. It's the Rayquaza V XY66 and 69 Black Star promo. They're 2 different promo cards that look the same. Just one card they're from 2 different boxes. One is from the left side here, is the black looking Rayquaza is from AEX Rayquaza box, and then the shiny one is from the shiny Rayquaza box, and they're both around the same price, $900 to $1,000. The first one is $30 to $76 raw, and the other one is $100 raw. The PSA 10 on this card is 0. There is none of them graded in a 10, confirmed on PSA's website. 0 of this card and graded in a 10. So there's no PSA 10 price because there's none in a 10. And there is in a 9, it is $666 or $660. And the other card in a 10 is $7,700. And that's because there's only 8 in the entire world out of 1,600 graded. The gem rate is 5% for the one that does have a 10, and the PSA 10 multiple on the ones that does have a 10 is 77x. The current listed quantity on TCG Player is 10 and 12 respectively, and the current quantity sold in the last 3 months is 13 and 18 respectively. I think these cards, like the artwork on the cards, are fairly good, but I really put these cards here because like they're cheap. They're fairly cheap cards, but they are hard. They're hard to grade, or not very many people are grading them. They're not very common cards because there is none in a 10, and for that rarity factor, that wow factor, I put them here in the top 5 of my favorite Rayquaza cards. Next is the Rayquaza VMAX from the Trainer Gallery in Silver Tempest again, 20 out of 30. This card is $102 raw, with the PSA 10 setting you back $222. This card has been graded a lot, with 20,000 of them, almost 20,000 of them graded, with 14,711 graded in a 10, giving you a very high gem rate of 75%. Because of that high gem rate, the PSA 10 multiple was only around 2 times. And because it's a relatively new card, the current quantity on TCG Player is 63, and there was 118 sold in the last 3 months. Again, this is just a badass looking card with the trading card, and because of that, it's number 4 on my list. Number 3 is the Rayquaza VMAX, number 218, 203 from Evolving Skies, the alternate art Rayquaza. This card is pretty freaking sweet. Pretty freaking sweet. Look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. No, it's raw $670. The PSA 10 is $1,520. And it also has a fairly high gem rate because there's 13,934 and a 10 out of 20,077 graded, giving you nearly a 70% gem rate with a 2.3x PSA 10 multiple. There's 19 of them on TCG Player and 29 sold in the last 3 months. This card is there because it's such a beautiful card. The scenery, the background, the way Rayquaza is flying through the sky there, just an awesome looking card. And it's a card that's a little closer um, to the future, and so the artwork has been done really, really well. Props to the person that drew this card, and for that, it's number 3, breaking the top 3. Now, number 2 is the Mega Rayquaza-EX 105 over 106 from Roaring Skies. This card is $320 raw and $11,000 in a 10. There's 115 in a 10 out of 3,651 graded. The gem rate is 3%, giving you a 34x PSA 10 multiple, with 12 listed on TCG Player and 4 have sold in the last 3 months, so nearly 1 sold every month. This card has a lot going on, and I've never owned a card like this, and just looking at it, it's just a badass looking card. I love the look of this card. This is definitely a card that I would like to pick up. Probably not in a 10, as that's way too much money for me. But look at that card. It is amazing. And for that, it is a number 2. Now, before we get to number 1, here is the number 1. Can we get a drum roll, please? The drum roll, please. Number 1 on the list is Mega Rayquaza-EX 98 over 98. Number 1 on the list. For all the reasons I like number 2, this is why this one is number 1. Blessed with the gold. It's just a beautiful looking card. The artwork is fantastic, and this card is from Ancient Origins, released in 2015 in August. The raw price of this card is $700 to $800, with the last sold on eBay around $6,000. The population report is a little bit more, with 4,600 graded and 776 graded in a 10, giving you a gem rate of 17%. The PSA 10 multiple is 7.5x, and the current quantity on TCG Player is 5. There is one of these cards sold in the last 3 months. So there it is, guys. That's my list. This card is an amazing looking card. Tell me if there's anything that you would change, what order, what card is your favorite card. Please post it in the comments down below. And remember, there is supposed to be a Rayquaza set coming out soon. Storm Emeralda or something like that. And with that, these cards will be probably going up in value, as that Storm Emeralda will be a Mega Rayquaza set, and look for people to start buying these cards more and more. You should get in before other people do. Get them at a better price. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. The 50 subscriber giveaway is still on as long as we reach 50 subscribers. And if we do that before my birthday on March the 15th, I will be adding another giveaway winner. So please subscribe. And thank you for watching my video. Black Market Poke Shill out.